Do it cause I love it and I stuck with it. We ain't with the subbing in the cut with it. Please, none of the talks, I heard enough of it. Like, what you gonna do? Where you at? Who you with? You ain't really about this, don't talk about it. Really on the move, on the map, never slip. Keep your hands to your lips, don't talk about it. Real eyes, real lives, all the time. Stand on it, if we said it, we don't walk around it. Loose lips, sink ships, red cup, blue strips, new phone, who this? No, we don't allow it. Really on go, I don't know what's an off day. Now we on road, came from smoking in the hallway. Now we got...
What's up on this awesome and amazing Friday? We made it another day and we are here to give y'all another great show. This will be definitely educational tonight. So hope y'all lock in, get comfortable. Always feel free to comment and ask questions. If you have not, please like, share, as well as subscribe. And I am your host, TK. I have host DA, rocking all his black, looking like he about to rob a bank.
Well, I gotta be all that.
It's just
I could just be trying to be militant right now. Fight the power, you know what I mean?
Oh, all right, fight the power. You do look like what's the name a little bit though?
Who?
Chuck D.
I'll take that.
For real.
I'll take that.
For real. Meanwhile, DJ rocking like he part of one of the crew of Fat Albert.
Hey, love, peace, and harmony.
Oh.
Love, peace, and harmony. You know me.
That's what's up. You look at like a happy Santa over there in
That's
September.
That's it. Love, peace, and harmony. All the time.
Hey, Hope.
Hey, what's going on, Hope?
Yeah. Definitely. So
it might just be a camera then. Okay.
Why was wrong?
I look blurry.
You straight. I would have told you. No, you straight. Put your glasses on, and I'm sure you would look clear to yourself.
Could be. What's up?
No. I was going to speak to Hope in the comments.
Oh.
Yeah. Got you. Cool. So DJ, how was your week, sir?
I mean, there were some things that tried to knock me off of my love, peace, and harmony vibe. I didn't allow it to. You know me. I just when things get chaotic or whatever the case is, then I just politely remove myself or distance myself. So, and everything just flows the way I want it to flow.
That's what's up. I feel that.
I went outside to the park and put my feet in the lake. It's a lake up here. Went up here and put my feet in the water and the dirt and the grass, and everything is beautiful.
That's what's up. So you killed off some fish.
You know it. They gonna be on the pit.
Woo! Contaminated.
Facts. That's it.
All right. That's what's up. All right. DA, what about you, sir?
What?
How was your week, sir?
Oh, you getting out? Maybe it's my volume or some shit. I don't know what the fuck going on. You getting all soft and stuff. Yeah. Put like this, I'm gonna be going to the gun range and shit tomorrow.
Ooh, stress relief.
Yeah.
Man, I need to go myself.
I had to unplug and walk around, sit outside with the dogs and contemplate my life. Yeah, because like people keep trying me. I take my kindness for a weakness. I keep thinking that because I don't say nothing, it's all gravy. All right.
Oh yeah. I experienced that myself. So yeah.
Sure, you better not to tell you. Yeah. But I'm not gonna let that fade me.
I show people by just removing them from my life.
Nah, it ain't. They messing with my coins. I can't remove them just yet. Give me a few minutes. I got something boiling for him.
Little master plan.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go ahead and bring up our people?
Okay. I always have a plan.
Definitely. That's what's up. All right. So of course tonight's topic is Pcos Awareness. This is Pcos Awareness Month. And I met this lovely young lady on a podcast, Morning Mimosas. Shout out to Holly. She has been on here a couple of different times, as well as I've graced hers. But she always has very amazing guests on her podcast. And I met this particular young lady where we were on a stress episode. This was gave me that hey. After I did her episode, I was like, oh shit, wait a minute, let me check my stress. And woo, that's when my shit was a little up there. So just from the knowledge and stuff that I got that was given by the guest tonight, I was like able to check myself and was like, oh shit, wait a minute. Pause, in the words of DA, and get myself back on track. So this is definitely a topic that we have not had, but definitely does need to be discussed. So I reached out and she was more than willing to be a guest tonight. So introducing to y'all Makeda. She goes by the Resilient Nurse. Welcome, Makeda.
How are you, Miss Makeda?
Hey everybody, how are you?
All is well.
Good.
You have an amazing smile. I love your
Oh,
smile.
thank you so much.
Yes.
So how are you?
So, oh, all right. Glad it's Friday. I live for Friday and a whole different magnitude these days. So, yes, doing good. Glad, excited to have you on tonight.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Me too. Before we get started, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself? If you like, just whatever, not what you have going on. We'll deal with that at the end, but just about you.
Yes, so I am, as you know, I'm a nurse. So I currently live in Buffalo, New York. And I'm a mom of a recent 10-year-old. My son turned 10 yesterday. So I was, had to pull back some tears because I'm like, I can't believe I have a
10-year-old.
And so yeah, I'm just blessed to be here. I also have a business, so I do that as well, wellness, and just I'm just an outgoing person. I just love people. I just love being around just different positive energies. I have to be.
Yes. I get it.
Yeah, but yeah, for the most part, like I'm just, I'm very laid back. I could turn up every now and again, but
Yeah, of course.
That's pretty much very simple.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, we appreciate your time. We appreciate you coming on to share knowledge and information. And this is going to be totally new for me. Like my friend TK, she told me a little bit about it, but I am a blank slate concerning this topic. So I'm all ears. I'm a sponge. I'm gonna ask whatever questions come to mind, and we're just gonna flow.
Absolutely. And I love that this platform has men as well, because a lot of men don't know. So if you have, siblings, you have children, daughters, spouses, significant other, that way you can be, knowledgeable about what's going on with, the women that are in your life. So this is definitely an important. So I'm glad that you guys are here as well.
Yes, ma'am. I couldn't have missed it if I wanted to, because my host is a bully.
Oh, no, she's not a bully.
You don't do it like I do.
Wow.
All right, TK, go ahead. Go ahead, TK. You got it. I just wanted to get that out the way.
All right. So, Makeda, tell us, what is Pcos?
So PCOS is polycystic ovarian syndrome. So for the most part, people known as, like you said, Pcos or PCOS. And basically what it is an hormone imbalance. So basically, there's like so many different factors. So you can have insulin resistance, to where your body is like producing insulin, but it's not metabolizing the insulin properly. So it's kind of like rejecting the insulin that is being produced in your body. So it causes, so you don't have diabetes, but you're basically like, if you want to break it down, it's kind of like you're diabetic, but your ovaries are diabetic, if that makes
So,
sense.
so in that aspect, on some tests, can it resemble diabetes, like a misdiagnosis?
Yes and no, because some of the medications that are prescribed, like metformin, is like a common medication that most doctors will give someone with PCOS because it has similarities as far as the insulin resistance. People who are type 2 diabetics are insulin resistant as well. So a lot of times, if you're giving metformin, people automatically assume that you're a diabetic, but that's not the case. So there's other factors that will, pretty much line up to
Okay.
you having PCOS versus being a diabetic.
Okay. I am taking notes just so y'all know. Okay, I like. Okay, okay. All right. I'm sorry, TK.
I saw you with your little trusty book and pad. I
I
caught
love
Oh,
that.
it. I
All
love
right.
you know me.
it.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
he do.
so, it,
Definitely.
so in other words, like, so how it works is, I'll just kind of go into like a background of how I was diagnosed. So for most women who have, regular periods, your menstrual cycle is like 28 every 28 days. So for the most part, if you don't ovulate or you having some issues, fertility is like one of the symptoms that you can have with PCOS. You can have a lot of like hormone.
So infertility. So if you're having an issue getting pregnant, then it could be related to PCOS.
Yes, so that could be a relation. So it doesn't necessarily is the main factor, but it can
Right.
be a symptom. So irregular periods are one of the symptoms you can have. You can have a lot of like mood imbalances, like stress and depression
Mm.
are huge with women who have PCOS, because you got to think about the hormones are not balanced, because of whatever's going on in the body, and the hormones are like kind of like all over the place. Some women do have cysts on their ovaries. Not necessarily every woman does who has PCOS, but that's pretty much what it is. So like your ovaries shouldn't have any cysts, like at like a multitude of cysts. Where polycystic was multitude of cysts, not
Okay.
necessarily, but it just depends on the woman. So one of the things that the doctor will do is they'll do an ultrasound, and they'll test the ovaries to see if they have any cysts. If the cysts are present, then they'll kind of look into other factors to determine if the PCOS is the diagnosis for the woman. So in my case, I was diagnosed when I was about 22, because I wasn't having regular menstrual cycles all of a sudden. I had
Mm.
them till I was about 2021, and then all of a sudden I wasn't. And so, the first thing that you assume is that you're pregnant, and that's necessarily the case. So because that wasn't the case, my doctor was like, well, why isn't she having regular periods? So they sent me to a fertility specialist, and the fertility specialist basically did the ultrasound. They did some lab work, and basically my insulin was high. I had two cysts on my ovaries at the time. I was displaying other factors. So like, some like weight gain. I was having issues losing weight. My weight fluctuated throughout my 20s, my entire life, because obviously I didn't know what was going on. So all of those things usually are contributing factors to PCOS. And that's usually what, they determine this person has PCOS. You can have like thinning hair, increased testosterone levels, so acne. So those are some of the basic symptoms that you may see in a woman with PCOS.
So,
Okay.
oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, bro.
Cause like I'm listening and I'm hearing everything that you're saying. Well, my question that popped in my head is like, where exactly do they come from? Is that the because you're insulin resistant? Is that the excess insulin crystallizing, or where exactly do the cysts come from, or do they even know?
So they say is the increase of the hormones. So the hormone, whatever the hormone of, like, so the excessive amount of insulin could be causing the cyst. Like, they don't have like a exact determination, hey, where is it deriving from, because it's so many different things that can occur to allow it to either, they could grow, they could stay the same. So it just depends, and there's like different forms of it. So it's so, I've been doing research for it for a while, and it's still like not knowing, like nobody else
Yeah,
can.
no.
And that's what my question was gonna be. Like,
Yeah.
how common is it? And if someone has it, like, can it go like unknown? And then also, from listening to you, is it almost seems like it could be based a lot off of what we consume.
Hey, yep, and that was gonna be my next question. Yep.
Yeah, and
Okay.
that's exactly what, that's a great question, actually, because when I was diagnosed, I was just told to diet and exercise, but there was no specifics of how to diet, what to eat, what to not to eat, and so on and so forth. So I grew up in this realm of, oh, I have this diagnosis, but I don't know how to reverse any of the symptoms. I don't know exactly what the symptoms are and what I can do to kind of reverse them. So now, almost, 40, I'm 39. I'm just really getting into the midst of it within the last year of really figuring out what foods I should and shouldn't eat. So there's nobody in my immediate family that I know of that has it. I also had my thyroid removed in 2009. So around the same time that I was diagnosed with PCOS, I had found out I had a cancerous nodule on my thyroid. So I had to get my thyroid removed. And so for those of you who don't know, that the thyroid is pretty much the center for all hormones. So there could be derived from that as well. It really was never told to me, to be honest with you. I was not educated whatsoever on my diagnosis. Hence why I struggled with weight loss, weight gain for so many years. My mind was I had to be on fertility medication because that's what I was told when, if I ever wanted to have a child. But I lost like weight on my own without thinking that that was going to be the answer to me being able to have a normal pregnancy without any medicine, and that's what happened. So I feel like a lot of women are not being educated properly because a lot of the physicians are not telling them, or they don't even know. So it's just now being more common to discuss, because I feel like this has been an underlining issue that nobody really wanted to talk about because people really didn't know what it was, and they kind of like pushed it to the side. Because I'll be honest, being diagnosed at 21, 22 years old, I partied, I did whatever. So I ate whatever I wanted because growing up in a household, it was never so I had that same mindset in my 20s. Once I lived on my own, like, okay, I could just eat whatever, but wasn't realizing that that was causing so much issues like inflammation. It was just so many different things that you didn't notice until now. Now I know. So I don't eat certain things like with PCOS, like a lot of chicken. A lot of people don't know, like, chicken has a lot of hormones in it. So if you ever hear people say, children that are like developed earlier in life or they look older than what they should, is because they eat a lot of chicken. A lot of the meat and stuff that we consume has a lot of different hormones and they add stuff to it. So those things could, cause a lot of imbalances in our hormones as well. And that's why some of these things start to come out later in the, adult years.
Oh man, yeah, because even just with me posting the flyer for this episode this week, you will not believe the DM messages of women questioning what this is.
Mm-hmm.
And because of the flyer, they went to look it up and they attempted to spark a conversation, but I was like, well, I don't know. Check us out Friday and hopefully she'll answer your questions then. But yeah, so wow, okay. TK, go ahead, man. I'm just yeah.
As one that has experienced this whole process, I was like you. When I first got the diagnosis, I didn't know what the hell. A lot of time you get to the doctor give you this diagnosis with no answers, no how to's, what to do's, or nothing, and you're just having to figure it out. So another friend of mine was like, well, they just told me to watch my diet and exercise. So I went through the whole fertility test thing, starting some fertility treatments, and um, group of us started working out. And it was like once I started working out, and I was like, okay, well, got my mind made up. Well, all right, I guess I'm just going to have this one kid. Going to the gym, lost about 20 pounds, and ta-da, here come baby. I'm like, I know you fucking lying. You gonna wait till I get fine to want to pop up, like, for real, dude? Like, it was just that. It was just like that. And I hear that story with a lot of women that have Pcos, that soon as they got to working out, drop that weight and boop, here it goes. I'm like, no time flat. And I'm like, well, God, no.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
it kind of makes me cry a little bit.
that's so funny because that's exactly what happened to me. I was not like I said, in my mind, in order for me to have a child, I had to be on fertility medication. And it's funny because my son's father, when we were dating, neither one of us had children. So of course I'm like, oh, I probably can't have kids, whatever. And I just, we had our break-in period, and it's so funny because I started working out. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to the gym. I started working out. I just, I was eating less. I wasn't on a particular diet, but I just wasn't eating, a lot that time. And I lost like 45 pounds, literally.
45.
and I kid you not, I was like probably at that weight for a good 6 months.
I want to know what the weight was.
Like, I found I was pregnant when I was about 2 months that I found I was pregnant.
Sir, you don't never quit ask about a woman's weight, sir.
She brought it up.
What he say? I didn't hear him. What he say?
I said, I want to know what the weight was.
You brought it up. He want to know what the weight was.
I don't even know what it was. I think
you just know it was 45 pounds down.
A while ago. I told you I got a 10-year-old. Now, right. If you think about 10 years ago how much I weighed, I don't even remember how much I weighed last week.
Okay, last week. I apologize. Okay, I got distracted for a minute. I'm sorry.
You are funny. But yeah, so I lost like 45 pounds and I found I was pregnant. So I was like you, TK. I was so mad because I was like, I finally lost a lot of weight and now I'm about to have a baby and I'm about to be big. I was so pissed off. And I was like, but at the same time, I was in shock. So it was kind of like, no, am I really pregnant? Because the doctor told me that I couldn't have kids without fertility medicine. So it was like so many different emotions that I was going through that I was like, okay, this isn't reality. This isn't reality. So that was when I really realized that the doctors don't know everything. I think going to school to be a nurse and this whole straightforward, like, this is what it is. The doctors are this, they know this is that. And when somebody said it, I'm like, okay, this is what I have to do. Everything was clean and cut to the point. But when I actually experienced something outside of what the doctor said, I'm like, okay, I could do this on my own. I don't need medication. I don't need, this situation to define my womanhood or what have you. And it was actually like, wow, I can do this. So, like I said, so many women, I feel now that I've actually spoke about it, and I said it when I was on the other podcast as well. Like, I never really talked about my experience with PCOS, my journey, because I didn't think it mattered at that point in time. I didn't realize how helpful it was for others, because I found out a lot more women who actually suffer from PCOS, but they just never talked about it, or really knew what it was and how to, reverse the symptoms. And so, like I said, like, 'cause the foods that we eat are definitely important. The amount of food that we eat is definitely important. Um, and just knowing what you can't tolerate. And I feel like just listening to your body and really, like, just getting your gut health really under control is really going to be a huge factor in being able to reverse some of these symptoms.
Definitely.
You said a
Definitely. I
mouthful.
agree, because definitely. Definitely a mouthful. Because a lot of times we, like you said, in our households, we're eating the fried chicken. Everything is fried and smothered and just sugared down. So it's not healthy. And then once you didn't get out of high school and you start hit them 20s and that weight start like trickling up on you, you're not being as active or whatever else, and it don't take no time for the weight to creep up on you. It's hard as hell to get that crap off, but it's it's easy to get it. So yes, going through those emotions, and I did that. Like, it was like I was like, hey, I'm looking all right. What's today? Oh, something wrong. I'm about 2 days late. What the hell going on? And I wait. I was like, let me go. My friend at the time was a nurse, and she had the little what's the name period chart thing to go on and look on there. And I was like, ooh. I was like, nah. She was like, you think? I was like, nah. Man, I took like 3 damn pregnancy tests at the house. All of them came up positive. Still went to the doctor to get checked. He was like, yeah. I'm like, I be damn.
So this is my question. So you mentioned that you just recently began to speak publicly about it, right? So as far as advocating just for a better understanding for women, is that something that you're currently doing or something that you're in the process of beginning to create or implement?
That's a great question. I actually have thought about it for a long time. And prior to me being on Holly's podcast, she actually put some fire under me because I wasn't going to advocate. But now I am more passionate, especially now that TK asked me to come on here with you. So that's 2 people who wanted to hear my story. So absolutely, that's my goal, is to advocate for women, especially who have PCOS. I guess I'm in the process of trying to figure out how I want to go about doing that. But that is definitely something that I would love to do, especially, Black and brown women that look like me, not discriminate against any other race, but because of our population of women, we are not being educated as much. And I feel like it's very more common in us than other races, just with all of the other things that contribute to that. Not only with that, but thyroid issues,
Yeah.
other factors to our health. And I really want to be that significant person to assist those who are not aware of what they could be going going through whatever they could be emotionally. And I feel like emotional depression, anxiety are huge. And I feel like now that I think back, I had like random episodes of anxiety and depression, and I didn't understand. Being a nurse and working in the field of nursing has its own stressors, but when you have those added things that you already have above you on top of that stress that you're working with, it's a double whammy. And trying to explain that to people, it's hard sometimes because I've always been a workaholic. I've always been doing a lot of things. And so me being excessively tired and just exhausted, I never put two and two together as to why I was so exhausted, until I really started to look at what the normal person that doesn't have these contributing you know, factors to their health, they're like, okay, I'm just tired. But for me, I'm tired on top of going through this drain. It's like somebody just pulling energy out of me daily. And sometimes I have days where I just be just down for, I try to, work it through, but it is difficult in some days. But now that I have, more, understanding of the diagnosis and really know what is causing me to be so tired. Okay, I know maybe my vitamin D levels are low. I told you I live in Buffalo, so we don't get a lot of sunlight.
When it's cold, it's cold.
Yes, and
Yeah.
when it gets cold, that is like really a cry for us to really start, working on our mental health because I never noticed that I had seasonal affective disorder too. So like,
Mhm.
Talked about that last week.
oh,
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah,
That was, yep, that was our topic last week.
oh wow, my grandmother has it, and I never understood it until like I started going to college, and they had it like on a bulletin board, and they talked about it. I said, "This is what my grandmother has," because she would always go to sleep at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon when it was winter, and she would just be down. And I was like, "What's wrong, Grandma?" She was like, "Oh, I'm just tired." And then as I started getting older, I started to notice that when it gets around like daylight savings time and it started getting dark late early, I don't want to leave the house. I have to like
Yeah.
be, I don't want to be bothered. And so I noticed that, and that's why a lot of times in the winter I try to leave Buffalo just because I like to be in the sun, because I could tell the difference when I'm not in the sunlight and how it could be like a very like down period. Like I just start thinking, so a lot of times us as women, I don't know how, when it comes to these things, but we don't recognize it. And, a lot of times women just do things because they know they have to do them, even though they may not mentally be prepared or, able to. And so a lot of times that gets, ignored, that there might be some, depression or anxiety going on. So it's just a lot of things that come to it that you just have to be more mindful and aware of your body. Your body is going to tell you everything you need to know. You just have to listen.
Yeah, because even just sitting here listening to you, and like in hindsight, 2020, like I can think back, and as you're speaking, I'm getting visuals of people, of women in my life, and I'm like, that could have been, or that looked like what she, or I remember when, and I'm having, and that's the reason why I asked you about the um, and I was going to ask you if you have ever documented your journey, because even just a journal or something like that, so other women can be relative,
Hmm.
because I was going to refer it to some people, but I think that may be an awesome spot to begin, because just listen to you talk, and I'm not saying that that's exactly what it is, but it would definitely help to weed it out if it's not.
Absolutely. And I'm so glad that you said that because I've made a promise to myself that I was going to start journaling and discussing and really getting comfortable with my story, because
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna say ashamed, but like I told you before, I really didn't think that it was that important. I didn't think that people really wanted to know or would be interested to know, because like I said, this is not a topic that is so, popular that people want to talk about. We talk about diabetes, we talk about heart disease and all of those things, but we really don't talk about PCOS. And a lot of times people don't. So for that, I'm definitely gonna start really going back and just filtering out some of the things and kinda just relating to the moods. Because again, even with relationships, if the other person that you're with doesn't understand the emotions that you're going through, that can cause a lot of issues as well. And I think back into situations of previous relationships of just emotion, like an emotional roller coaster, that they may have not understood, like, right now I don't want to talk right now, or right now, I'm just not in the mood for that. And it comes off like, oh, you're just being a certain way, and it's like mentally I'm battling something that you can never understand. So I think that's extremely important for our men to be educated, not alongside with our women, because we want to be able to feel supported as well, because you never know.
Yeah, and I was going to mention the question right there in the comments. She asked if you could explain the facial hair because she feels like men are insensitive about it. And I can honestly say I have been insensitive about women with facial hair, not to the point to where I was mean, but just insensitive in any event.
Right.
So she asks, like, so I'm imagining that facial hair is one of the
Yes,
things.
facial hair can definitely
Mm-hmm.
symptom. So like I was telling you before, increased testosterone levels um,
Ah,
can occur in women with PCOS. It doesn't happen to all, but it can happen in PCOS. And so, with that being said, one of the things that I did do some research on about with the facial hair is drinking spearmint tea is really good for decreasing those testosterone levels, which will also decrease the appearance of facial hair. So, if you drink like 1 to 2 cups a day of spearmint tea, that would help reduce the testosterone levels and thin out the hair. So this is why I was saying, like, having PCOS could be very complicated and stressful at ways, because you may have women who have really thin hair, like your hair could be thinning and and things like that, and then you got women who have facial hair. So it's like I can't imagine how stressful it could be, because you got all of these things going on. So if you are dating or anything like that, I could see that being a concern. But like I said, one of the things that I would highly recommend is, definitely check your hormone levels. And if you do find that facial hair is a concern, try that remedy as well, because I think that that would be extremely helpful. Especially too, and also with like acne and things like that. Just making sure that you're drinking water. I always include like lemons, limes, anything like citrusy, just to kind of increase that metabolism and help detoxify the skin. um
Mm-hmm.
that's what I do. I do a lot of different things that are helpful, like natural things, just because I don't really like being on medication as it is. And I also feel like it has a better outcome when you're doing things that you get in your house,
yeah.
um
It's, mm,
that's just me, and that's what I notice. And then I just have like a facial remedy, like I just pay attention to different things. Turmeric is good for decreasing that inflammation, because like I said, you can have a lot of inflammation with PCOS as well. What else I'm trying to think of some of the things that I do to help reduce some of these symptoms. Um oh so avoiding a lot of dairy and gluten are the two things that I noticed was causing a lot of inflammation when I was eating, like consuming them. So decreasing that. And I also did some research, like gluten and dairy are high It's a lot of hormones, as you know, in milk because of the cows. And so, like I said, when you're anything what you're doing, like I said, chicken, I think is like one of the highest. Also too has a lot of estrogen. That's one of the things. Chicken has a lot of estrogen in it. So that is why, yes, you can eat chicken, but I always ate chicken. So you never, most of us as Black people, so you can imagine how much hormones we're putting in our body throughout the years. And if you have daughters, they're developing early. They're getting their menstrual cycle at 10 or 11. I got my menstrual cycle when I was 11. So, you kind of go back in time and see the normalcy is not the normalcy if you really, think about it.
And you hitting on something, because I was sitting here thinking about it, like talking about, because they'll tell you, like, I'll always like to look at the past to try to put the picture together. And the theme that I'm hearing from you is what you consume, what you put in your body. And the thing that popped in my head, because I know it was a study that came out a few times about, one, the talcum powder, the powder that you used to put in your drawers and all that stuff to keep you fresh. And then the other thing was the perm, the chemical from the perm. And then everybody gonna laugh at this. The what is it? The deodorant, the mild, what is it called? God damn.
The aluminum.
The green, it was a green and white bottle that they used to sell at the grocery store. It was a deodorant. I can't think of it. The old folks used to always have it, and it smelled like damn burnt rubber.
Are you talking about Tussie?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
He said smell like burnt rubber. Oh gosh.
Yeah. So, but like, nah, you talking about all of that stuff, and I'm thinking back, and it seems like that once, like, if you connect the dots, the more chemicals they put in, the more prevalent this stuff is.
Absolutely. And again, we only do what we were taught. So growing up in the house, and we like, oh, you better put that powder on because you ain't gonna be up thinking. And then years later, they say, oh, the increase of using talcum powder is like the high cancer. So they don't use it anymore. And I mean, we putting this on infants. So, the babies don't even have a choice to decide if they want to use it or not. So you're putting all of this into their system and introducing it to them, and they're not even, barely alive. They just were born, and you already putting all of this stuff in there. But again, the research that they compared to now wasn't as in depth as it before, because now they're having all of these reactions to all of the chemicals that we had consumed back in the day. You think about, we grew up in a household, we're drinking Kool-Aid, all of that red dye, all of that stuff that we have consumed.
Damn, the red dye, the amount of sugar we put in that thing.
Exactly, the red dye, the sugar, the powder, the deodorants, the relaxers are huge. Because if I knew what I knew then, what I knew now, I would never wanted to get a relaxer. And my dad was like extremely against us getting relaxers, but my mom, she gave us relaxers. But as I got older, I would get it, and I just got to a point where my hair started like thinning out, and then I said, you know what, I'm gonna go natural. So then I went natural for like 6 years, and then after that, I decided to get locks. And I'll be 100% honest with you, my hair was longer back then, but I don't feel like it was as strong and healthy as it is now because I'm not bothering it. And I feel like you are just bothering it. You gotta relax your hair every 6 weeks. Then you gotta press it. Then you doing this. You manipulating your hair, and then you wonder why your hair is falling out.
That hot going.
all of this extra stuff that you don't need to do it. Because
Yeah.
again, going back in the day, before natural was a thing, we had to have straight hair. If all your hair is nappy, it's just so many different things that I feel like, you
Mm.
know, if we would have been more happy with our own grain of hair and just the naturalness that it comes with, and just the things that we have put on this earth for us to use and not the chemicals, I feel like things would be a lot different.
Yeah, yeah, and bring it back to what we talking about now. It's like just I knew a little bit because I don't know if it seemed like every lady that I dealt with once I got in my 20s, they were having issues like that. And at first it used to frustrate me, but then I'm like, okay, let me listen to what they're talking about. And then they were like, oh, I have a cyst the size of this, or I have a cyst and I have this and this. And I used to ask questions, so where does it come from? And I would never, it's interesting because I would never get the same answer.
Mm-hmm.
And never, like, some was like, oh, it's hereditary. Some would be like, oh, um, like you said, the insulin resistance part. Some was like, oh, it's from the thyroid. Oh, it's from this. It's from that. And I'm just like, and now that you're talking about it and the information that you putting out, it still have me like, damn, they really don't know honestly where it's coming from. And I'm glad that you're thinking about being an advocate, because it's really not an advocate, period. Like, you hear people talk, it's a conversation that's being had, but there's nobody like, hey, jumping up and down like, hey, we need to start looking at this. Because you can
Agreed.
kind of,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's what I was going to ask you about, because you mentioned the water, with the
yeah,
lemon and the lime and the teas and the consumption of certain things, right? Um, so the dairy and all of that stuff, it sounds like a holistic lifestyle, right? So basically, once you change your diet, so many things that we deal with are simply because of poor eating habits, poor diet, what we drink and consume. And I think that right there, just just having that understanding of it can definitely help and will help a lot of people, because with the society that we're in now, and a lot of people wanting more information about more things, wanting to be more holistic just for the sake of just being healthier in general. I mean, it's going to just switch up so many things that us as a community deal with, including this PCOS.
yeah,
I just want to point that out. Yeah.
yeah. But you could throw a rock and hit somebody, an advocate for breast cancer, for
Mm-hmm.
this, for that.
Mm-hmm.
But there's not one for PCOS. Like,
Absolutely.
you could
And
be the first.
being discussed more, I definitely believe that this will make it more like, because I feel like a lot of times women, like the young lady who asked the question about the facial hair, I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of questions that women have, but I also feel like they may be a little embarrassed about certain of these conversations, because again, if you're dating somebody, like, okay, I was diagnosed at 22, so it could be so many different factors. Like, you could have low libido, at 21, 22, you most likely shouldn't be like, I don't feel, no, I don't want to do this. You know,
Yeah, you
I
should be fucking out of both pants legs.
how do you have conversations with somebody that you're,
Oh shit.
and they're like, well, what's wrong with you? Because a lot of people don't understand. And of course, it comes off as being insensitive, but it's just being, a lack of education on really understanding. And that's why I said, like, it's so important for not only the women to know their bodies and understand their bodies, but also for the men in the community as well, because you never know. You can have, like I said, you can have a significant other, a mother, a daughter,
Yep.
anybody that's in your family or that you have a relationship with that could be experiencing these symptoms, and you are like totally insensitive to it, and it's like, no, I don't want to talk about it, and they don't want to discuss it. My own father, had no idea. Like, he knew I had the thyroid situation, but when I was telling him like, oh, I'm gonna be on this podcast and I'm talking about PCOS, he was like, what is that?
Yeah, because we don't know.
Conversations where I mentioned it, but my dad is so like, he doesn't like hearing those type of things because it's like, it comes off like, oh, something wrong with my daughter. And it's like, no, it's not that, but I need you to be, educated and understand that these are the things that I struggle with. Sometimes people don't really understand, because I may be this bubbly person outside, but sometimes it really be a mental struggle and people don't even understand. And I got people that call me and ask me for help, and I'll be looking at you like, listen, do you not know?
Yeah.
But because I am who I am, I don't turn people away. But sometimes I need the help. I need to be able to talk to somebody that understand. Like, I'm struggling right now emotionally, mentally. I don't know why I feel like this. And so I think it's so important for us, to come together to be able to have these conversations, because I want to be able to put something out on the table. If hey, I had a real rough day today. And it's not like I want somebody to have pity over me, but it's like, I'm really struggling right now. So I think it's just that community itself just needs to be more aware of this situation and how it affects not only the ovaries, but everything that's contributing with that, because it comes from the top. You could have brain fog. I mean, it's so many different things that come along with this, right? And brain fog, being in nursing school, it's been times I'll be sitting there and I'll be like,
Yeah, you in the middle of nothing. I ain't heard nothing you said.
So, and sometimes you be just, I try not to think that, okay, maybe, I'm just doing too much. But sometimes I literally be like, wait, what did I come in here for? And I'll just be really clustered. And I have to laugh. It's been so many times I go in the bathroom or I go in the kitchen. I'll be like, what did I come in here for? I don't know what's going on.
Yep.
So
and walk out the room and go back somewhere else, and you like, oh,
I forgot. So yeah.
No, you are definitely right. I promise it feel like we women deal with a lot.
We do.
Even in that aspect, when you have to think about PCOS, fibroids, vaginal cancer, everything, like, it's a lot of us go through multiple of those things, because not only that, I have fibroids as well. So when you're actually wanting to have another kid, and every month you're looking, hoping this is the month, you do start to sink into a level of depression. And it's like, even in that process, that anxiety does kick in, just waiting for just the possibility and that hope of being able to get pregnant. So even in that same space, there's also a level of stress that you're enduring, because the other two are connecting together, and it's causing the stress because this is something that you want. So it's so much, man. We just go through a whole lot, because like you said, the brain fog, I'm telling you, I be feeling that 110. Yes, sir. How can I help you?
You want to have another kid?
That was then.
All in
that was then.
Oh,
that was pre-science.
Hey, you caught that too, right?
I was about to pull your coattail.
You caught that too, right?
Science. I don't know, baby. Look
So
here.
you got to be a grandma up at the school.
It might change, because my mind be 1 minute I'll be like, hey, next thing I'll be like, no.
You got one more year.
Baby. Look, I got
one more year. One more year, and then let it go after that.
Let it go.
Man, stop playing. You can have kids all the way. You read the Bible. You know what they say. You can have kids till you can't till you die.
See, now, I listen.
You can be 82 with a 2-year-old.
However, in this day, my uterus will not be doing any of that past. I said 42 is my limit, and that's it. Now, before I had my son, I said if I don't have no kids before I was 30, because back then I thought 30 was old, I was like, I'm not having no kids. However, God blessed me with a child right before I had. Thank God. My son is 10. I did have a little flashback when I was looking at his pictures. I was like, oh, I should have another baby. Then I was like, no, because I'm a little bit close to freedom now. So, but you go through all of these mixed emotions. And one of the things that I wanted to say before I forget, TK, when you say you have fibroids, one of the things that I would suggest is doing Yanni steams. Yanni steams are really helpful for reducing fibroids.
See, there you go. See, y'all putting chemicals in your coochie again. Y'all shit gonna fall out.
Those are not chemicals. Yanni steams are herbs.
Natural
herbs. And what's
steaming water. They're herbs.
Steam water, okay.
Gotcha.
All right. I'm
no,
just saying.
Yes,
I will not in any form ever tell anybody to use any chemicals for their vagina. I feel like your womb, you need to not use it. I'm telling you to stay away from the chemicals. That's what's probably causing the fibroids and all
the fibroids and the cysts and all that stuff.
But fibroids too, are very common. However, that goes to all of the extra hormones. All of that is all contributing to that. And I know that fibroids are very common. However, like I said, a lot of I'm telling you some of the things, and I'm not completely 100% holistic. My goal is to be that. I try to stay away from processed foods. I try to stay away from as much as possible. As I'm getting older, I'm starting to, cut out certain things that I used to eat. I don't eat as much. However, if it's something that I could do naturally that I know will be beneficial and helpful, I definitely will recommend it. But I would suggest, if you are able to still, if the fibroids, I'm not risking you to, where you have to get them removed or anything like that. I would suggest trying to do, Yanni steams on like a weekly basis and seeing how that helps. Cause it also helps with, other things as well. But I think, the fibroids, because I know they could be painful, and that steam and those herbs and things like that are specific for that is going to help, reduce those growths.
That works.
Well, you made me forget what I was going to say.
Sorry.
Well, because y'all was over there trying to be funny. Y'all know damn well
I know what Yanni steam is. I just didn't know I thought Yanni steam was. No, I knew what it was. I thought they put like the Vicks Vapor Rub in there. That's why.
Oh no.
That might burn a little bit. That would be a little spicy.
That's why I was like,
vagina.
Look. That's why I say y'all gotta be careful.
Y'all want us to stop being insensitive. Right now, y'all are not being sensitive. Y'all are being insensitive.
I apologize.
No, I'm saying hey, look, that's what I thought. And like you just educated me. Okay, I'm good.
I hope they're not doing that. That's a no. I hope they ain't either.
Shit, and if you are doing it, don't do it anymore.
Your vagina is gonna be
no vapor rub, no camphor for
me. Minty. This is gonna be minty and tingly.
I don't know about minty. It's gonna be on fire because it's gonna be burning. That's not. Man. It's gonna be no.
I couldn't even imagine.
So the Yanni steam should be all natural herbs.
There's a specific herbal blend that if you look at the different herbs and what the benefits are, so you go through a different like blend of herbs that you put in a steamer. Now I know a lot of times back in the pandemic, people were like, "Oh, Yanni steams, you can do steams at home," but what they were promoting was because they look at the internet and they just follow suit and they don't do research. But that's that.
That's a big vapor rub. See,
they're plastic, and plastic is a big no. Now that is and something that you should not be using. If it's not like a stainless steel
bowl.
a wood. You should not be using any plastics with the herbs, like the herb, like burn it, because you're basically, once you put the hot water and you're burning, you're putting all of those chemicals in your vagina and your womb. All of that is basically mixing up, so it's kind of like defeating the purpose of what you're trying to do. So basically that was what people were promoting, and I was, you know, it was very much frowned upon because people, like I said, they follow suit and they don't do the research, and then they're like, oh well, I'm just gonna do this. No, absolutely not.
Well, I'm gonna do a Yanni steam, and next thing you know, they got down.
I'm gonna do one on my beard. Can you do it on your beard or no? It's not for that.
It's called Yanni.
Yanni. But I would. Yanni.
I'm sorry. I was yes, 24/7. David, fix it, Jesus. My apologies. Okay. This is good. This is good information. I am excited for you and everything that you have going on. Go ahead, dear.
Because now you got me thinking about the Yanni steam. So with that, you think that'll help with the PCOS?
Absolutely. It for infertility. It will help with vaginal dryness. It will help with hormone like menstrual cycles, having regular menstrual cycles, ovulation.
Yep. Yeah, you should be an advocate, like for real. Like you should have your own talk show.
Don't get me started, because I will.
I'm dead. I'm serious. Hold it down with hope.
Oh, I like that. I'm about to take that.
I will check you out, and I will send so many people to check you out.
Okay, listen, y'all put something to me. Just let me. I'm not technology like savvy.
See, so that's me.
They
get on me all the time about that shit. I'm a conspiracy theorist. They watching.
Oh, Lord. But I'm definitely on it.
Okay, I'm gonna hold you to that.
I'm gonna hit up TK and be like, what I gotta do? Because I'm about to.
I got you.
Did we lose her?
I first say she about to get off. Damn, she didn't even say back.
The phone probably hurt her.
She might have got a call or something because her screen is still there, but it went what's in there, so she might have got a call.
Tell them motherfuckers to wait.
I put mine on.
Hold on, I gotta have a conversation because I know for a fact I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Why did a phone call get through?
Because it has probably been exactly 1 hour. Because sometimes it's timed.
No, I don't know. It's literally the little moon on there right now. I don't understand.
That moon could be just like your phone trying to go to sleep, and you keep it up.
And there's some people, like, depending on how they're saved in your phone, the Do Not Disturb, the call will still go through.
Okay, I gotta figure that out because I don't like that. Because I literally put it on Do Not Disturb for that purpose. Because I did not want to be interrupted.
Definitely.
But y'all definitely helped me as well because, like I said, I've been sitting here contemplating on how I want to, be, because I have so many different avenues to me and what I do. And this is something that I'm really passionate about. And I really feel like it's important. And I feel now because it's bringing more awareness to other people. It's very, it's very good for me to know, like, hey, this is something I need to be doing. And I feel like the more, awareness I bring to also our stories are very similar. A lot of the people that I've been coming in encounter with have similar stories to me. So, I just want to be able to provide that information so that people know that it's not impossible. And I feel like that is what a lot of women that probably struggle with the same thing I've been struggling with, whether they want to have a child or they, may have miscarriages in the past, that it's not impossible to have a child. You just got to really figure out some of the things that may be going on and kind of just, do more research and then really just be more in tune with your body and what it's telling you. And that's pretty much the best thing that I could do, because I was ignoring my body for years. I was just going through the motions and not really realizing all of the things that I was going through until I got tired of feeling the crappy feeling that I was feeling, and then I started to really dig deep. You know, I lost weight, within the last 2.5 months, just based on the things that I was saying, and being more mindful of what I eat and just being around different things, not allowing a lot of negative energy to come in my space. It's just so many different factors of things that you can do to help reduce those hormone imbalances and just really kind of get in a better, mindset.
And you mentioned earlier some of the mental and emotional battles just through dealing with this. And I can imagine that just having that understanding can help in those spaces when you're having a not so good day, or when your emotions can seemingly be all over the place because you just not knowing what's going on, but you know something ain't right.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's major.
I just had a epiphany
Uh-oh.
when you went. No, because like we were talking about the stuff we did in the early years when we was young and everything right now, and all the stuff that you wish you would have done different. And we was talking about putting stuff in our body and stuff like that. I wonder how much does the alcohol, the drinking, and all the partying plays into PCOS.
That's a
Like
good.
again, like if we really break it down scientifically, getting drunk is basically alcohol poisoning. So you're
Yeah.
stressing your body out. Getting high is basically your body's reaction to the chemicals and shit that's going in your body. So I wonder how much of that also played in the role, on top of the perms, on top of the Vicks vapor rub on your chest, and you had to swallow because you got sick. All that all the other stuff that you did when you was younger, on top of the hormones in the chicken, on top of the hormones in the cows, and yeah, all
We
that
put
stuff.
our bodies through a lot. If we
Yeah,
if we
and
really sit back and think about it, we put our bodies through a whole lot. And
yeah,
so, I think that's why now I'm so carefree about not holding on to things and
mm-hmm,
people that don't suit me when it comes to my mental health and my peace, because
mm-hmm,
I used to hold on to that because, oh, I know that person for this long, or that situation, I've been with this person for this long, and I used to be like, oh, I need to hold on to it, but didn't realize how much stress and unhappiness it was bringing. And so when you bring in all of that unhappiness and all of that negative energy into your body on top of whatever hormonal issues you already having, do you know how imbalanced you are as a whole?
Girl, you better
And
talk
so
your
now,
talk.
when people say, "Oh, you so happy," like, you know, I just went through a divorce,
You don't know
and
what it took to get
like,
here.
man, listen, that's why I try. The people don't even understand. Like,
Mm.
you don't know what I've been through the last 2 years. People are like, "Oh, you living your best life," and I am.
Hmm.
"Oh, you've been outside," and I am, and
And
I'm going to be, and I will continue to be outside. So, but people don't want to have those type of conversations because they don't want to talk about what I went through mentally. I didn't look like this 2 years ago. I was going through the motions. I was struggling, you know, but on the outside looking in, everybody always think everything is so sweet. So, but now it's like, oh, I'll cut you off. You know how many people I done cut off in the past
right
month?
quick, right quick.
I have no time, none
Zero.
mm.
at all.
So
And
does
now that I know what I know now, I ain't no way.
Right.
Does the stress add to it too?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
That
Stress is
stress to
like,
kill you.
I
It'll do
think stress
everything
is like the
to you.
number one thing. That's
Mm.
the number one thing with any illness diagnosis. If you really come to terms with it, stress, they call it the silent killer for a reason. Because
Crazy.
stress is like number one to everything you got going on in life. If you
Mm.
sit back and think about it, how many times do we sit and stress about stuff that we can't control?
Yep.
And then
Mm-hmm.
9 times out of 10, we're gonna be sick, or we not feeling good, or we like
Yep.
all over the place because our stress levels are extremely high, and
Mm-hmm.
that's throwing our bodies off. And if you already got all these other things going on, think about all of these other things that stress is hitting every notch.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Yeah.
So I refuse. Even when I try to think, oh, you know what? Nope, I'm not doing it. I'm not stressing because I know what stress does and I know how it makes me feel. And I told myself I would not allow it to make me feel like that anymore. So rather than stress about it, let's figure out what solution we can get to
The end
so
game.
that that is not no longer an issue.
Yep. Yeah, buddy.
I highly agree. I highly agree. This has definitely been awesome. Definitely much needed, very educated, and we definitely thank you for being here
Thank
in every
you.
aspect. Because I can probably I'm interested to ask. So Da, what did you learn from this episode?
Hell, you gotta come at me like that.
Because y'all was so intrigued, and I know you learned something.
I
Because I'm
learned
gonna ask him
you
too,
can't
since
put
he's
a
over there
vapor
taking
rub in
notes.
a Yanni treatment. I
Honestly.
learned that.
Well, amen. Because
No, but
No
for
vapor rub, the Yanni.
yeah, but for it's like what I've learned too, and is what I added to my education of it is one, everybody's unique when it comes to that because everybody's body reacts differently to the situation of PCOS. Why I say POS? I don't know, but and they'll have different symptoms and different uh what's the word I'm looking for? Different symptoms and different reactions to the is it a disorder or is it
Well,
just
they
a syndrome?
oh,
Yeah,
a syndrome, yeah.
yeah. So
I just say diagnosis because I don't claim. I don't
yeah,
claim it.
okay,
Yeah.
But I get it. I get what you're
yeah.
saying though.
So I mean, and it's still, and I hate to say it like this, but it's still new. It's people are still trying to figure it out.
Hmm.
And
Agree.
Yeah.
that's the sad part about it. But I understand. I'm not gonna get on my soapbox about that, but I understand why. Yeah.
all right, DJ, what did you learn tonight?
Oh man. First thing I learned is ask questions. Ask those hard questions. Don't just accept the first diagnosis, or don't
Definitely.
allow anyone to downplay your body. Listen to your body. And I know we're talking about PCOS, but in all aspects, listen to your body. Your body is not going to lie to you. Pay attention to your body. Ask those difficult questions, and if nothing else, advocate for yourself.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So before we go, ma'am, tell us about yourself. What you got going on? I want to hear about you just a little bit more. What's in the mix? What are you working on? Do you mind?
Oh, absolutely. So now that this has been a highlight of my last couple of months that I've really been thinking about. I've been working on writing a book,
Girl, you better.
and I've been thinking about it for a while, and I actually been putting it off for a while. And I had a mentor who was literally telling me to stop putting it off, but life be lifing. However, I feel like I had to go through those things in order for me to be able to write my book. So now I am definitely going to be in tune with that, and also working on my YouTube channel that I've been sleeping on.
All right.
So,
one more question:
but
would you come back? Would you come back to this particular show?
Yes, I
Okay,
would
there
love
it is.
to have me. I would love to. Because I told you, you guys are really pushing me to be out of my comfort zone. Because again, this is something that I'm passionate about. However, I wasn't too sure how I wanted to present it to the world and things like that. But I'm definitely excited to be able to, produce as much as I can out into the world to let people know that you're not alone. I'm working on some more wellness processes for my business. So, just being more intuitive with not only weight loss and fitness, but just overall wellness and health. That's really what my goal is in my business, to really advocate for my clients, myself. And I really do want to help people to identify what things that they might be going through with their hormones and things like that. And you guys really helped me to really get on the ball with becoming an advocate for PCOS. So I'm definitely going to be working on that as well.
Yeah, we
The
tend
more
to
you
do that.
talk, the more you talk and the more you express yourself, ma'am, I can assure you that those people that you need, they will arrive. Your community will show up. Your tribe will begin to build itself, and before you know it, you're gonna have your whole team. Because scriptures in the Bible, it says your gifts will make room. So you just keep operating in your gifts and watch the doors that open for you. That's all I
I
got.
appreciate that. Thank you so much for that.
I'm
And
done.
thank you, Hey. I appreciate you having me on. So happy to be on a part. I love y'all energy. Y'all energy definitely is very positive and calming. I love it. I love how interested you gentlemen were. That is like so dear to me, because men are not very understanding sometimes, and to be in a place where, as a woman, we sometimes feel alone and men don't really understand or want to know. I just want to commend you on, being here and just really being interested.
Absolutely.
Always. I like to learn. I like to learn new stuff.
Yes, we do.
I like to learn. Educate me.
Yeah, my two knot heads. I love them.
I ain't gonna be too many more knot heads. I'm gonna tell
Right.
you
I,
that
I
right
do
now.
have feelings. I have feelings, man.
Yeah, damn. You
I
always
said I
act like
love
you
y'all,
want
dang
a
it.
problem.
I didn't hear that
Always
part. I
act like
just
you
heard
want a
not
problem.
head. All I heard was
Always.
I
not head.
said my two knot heads, I love them to death. That's what I said.
You
See
must
how
have said that
y'all
in
only took the
Spanish.
one piece?
You said it in Spanish, in Espanol.
Cuz, how you gonna cut us and then try to put a band-aid on it? It don't work like that.
But anyway, keep hanging
Knot
with us.
heads
You
is a
gonna come.
term
You
of
gonna come out
endearment.
your comfort zone. We
I'm
gonna
with
push you out your
I'm
comfort zone.
definitely
Keep hanging with us.
Mhm.
I'm definitely open.
Don't
As
leave
long
Yeah.
as
just
you
yet.
have me, I will take it. If you have
Okay.
me, I'm there. Just let me know.
Okay. All right, TK, do your
Definitely.
thing. Don't leave yet, ma'am. Don't
I'm not,
exit yet. Stay tuned. TK,
I
go ahead.
just,
Yeah. Tell that motherfucker to
All
stop
right.
calling.
Oh, Jesus. DA, what's your outro, sir?
I already said it. That's my
That was
outro.
your
Tell that
outro?
motherfucker to stop calling. No, I just playing. I joke. I kid. Nah, just like listen. Shit. That's the best thing I can say. Just listen. Like everybody, like I said earlier, everybody different. We got to understand each other to survive in this world, especially us as the more melanin people. We have to understand each other. We have to stop looking at each other like we're the enemy and sisters and brothers, and start learning and start building each other up, helping each other. Yeah.
All right.
That's how it go. Without no you, there'll be no me. And without no unity, there will never be any happiness. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's
I
an
like
African
that.
proverb. I actually have it tattooed on my leg. The word is Ubuntu, Ubuntu.
Mm-hmm.
There's no me without you. We're all connected.
Yep.
So yeah.
I love it. Love it.
Okay, dog. Okay. I thought
I
okay. See,
love that.
that's why we twins. That's why we twins. I thought I was the only one who used to do that. Used to say that.
Uh-huh. My brother.
Oh,
You know what? I don't have a lot to say tonight. Like I'm just still soaking it all in. I'm appreciative of the information more than anything. I love your energy, ma'am. You are amazing. You're beautiful inside and out. There's great work, and I'm just grateful to have a seat to watch this thing unfold. And that's all I got. So y'all have a blessed week and be blessed to be a blessing even more than that. Yeah.
Thank you so
you
much.
just had a church moment right there, didn't you?
Man,
I'm about
I
to say that's a
told you the
lot of
other day,
D's.
see, I was in a restaurant and I saw that lady with no shoes, and I literally gave her the shoes off my feet.
Yeah.
I've been in this space all week, and that's great things are happening, not just for me, but people that's around. So I'm just sitting back and just absorbing it all.
Okay. All right, Makeda, your outro.
I'm just so overjoyed to be here. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to tell my story, educate, and just be here with you guys. I've learned, that some things that I may, not see in myself, I'm gonna see. And I just appreciate the positive energy and just the overall togetherness that I've experienced while being on this. So
Most definite. You're welcome. And I definitely thank you for coming on. You were like, as soon as I hit you up, you was like, I got you. What's the deal? I was like, bam, let's get it. So even Holly hit me up about it too. And I was like, all right, that's what's up. So I do thank you, even as D spoke. We from the episode we did together, we had a connection. I was like, yeah, because I don't add everybody to my Facebook. They can tell you.
right.
I'm the queen of block, and I'll block you real quick. But your energy was always good, even now. Um, Very just beautiful inside and out. I see a lot of your posts, and we be on the same page on a whole lot of them. So I definitely feel you, and you can do this. You got this. I like I said, I see what you post. I see you being you in just your natural form, and that's what it takes. You don't need to be nobody else, just be you, and you got this. So any help you need, if I can help you, I got it. If I don't know, I know 9 out of 10 I may know somebody that can assist as well. So I got you. That's what you want to do. I got you. Thank y'all for everybody that tuned in. Thank you to my two awesome co-hosts. I appreciate y'all for not trying to tuck your tails and run on tonight's episode.
I tried. You told me no.
I
I
know.
wasn't gonna pick my tail.
But
Right.
you learned something. So
I did.
Yeah, I don't never tuck my tail. I might hide, but I ain't gonna tuck my tail.
what you gonna hide behind?
A building.
Okay, that sounds about right. Okay, there go. So again, if you have not, please like, share, and subscribe. Share this episode with a friend, family member, your sister, your daughter, whatever. Share this episode with somebody. Shoot, if you need to, go rewatch it yourself. We will be back next week. Of course. Yeah, next week. I have to look at the and we will see y'all next week. Same bad time, same back channel, and y'all please be safe. We out.
Yeah, what's up with it?
Uh-oh.
We having technical difficulties, so we back.
Nah, it's going slow because I seen it top.
Yeah,
So
what's up with it? Do it cause I love it and I stuck with it. We ain't with the subbing in the cut with it. Please, none of the talks, I heard enough of it. Like, what you gonna do?